I'm gonna stop the music for a second, just because. Yeah. So we're gonna get to that, Gary. Like, calm down. I really don't think that Osprey should have freaking lost. I really don't. This will be an official podcast episode, so I have to like go by the format that like I go by. But before I actually do that, for everyone that is here, just keep in mind that yes, your girl Marie Shadows is Twitch affiliate. Basically that means I can run ads. If you guys do not want to see any ads while you're, paying attention to me, listening to me, then by all means, make sure to send me that Twitch Prime, which is totally free. You don't really have to pay for anything because you have Amazon Prime. So if you want, no ads while you're watching me, then by all means, Twitch Prime is the way to go. Or if you want to sub to me, that's totally fine too. If you want to gift subs to the community, that's awesome. That's great. It's all up to you. You have options. This is what I love about like the way that I can structure my income, so to speak. But yes, thank you, Gary. The congratulations is very much needed. Let me turn this light off. My camera comes with a built-in light and it's already fucking with my eyes. But yeah, I'm just letting you know that I have a feature, behind the scenes that will let me know when another ad is playing, and there's only going to be two sets of ads throughout any type of my streams. And when you come into my stream, you will not get a pre-roll ad. I am tired of seeing other streamers have their pre-roll ads on their streams. I'm not going to be one of those streamers that's like, "Oh, you guys going to get a pre-roll ad just because." Like, yes, that's going to give me what, like 2 cents extra. Like, it's not that big of a deal. It's really not. I'd rather you guys be here for like 15 minutes, bam, it comes an ad just to, help me pay some bills, and then an ad later on again in like 15 minutes. Right now, I could definitely tell you that another ad will start in 24 minutes. So basically, again, if you guys do not want any ads for your experience to break up your experience, by all means, let me have that Twitch Prime. Hey, thank you, PhD Bound. Love you. Love you, love you, love you. Um, yo, PhD Bound has been so amazing on Twitter by like coming into like the threads and like just like just having, a fun time with us. Like, she's awesome for being in there and being like talking about New Japan with us and stuff like that. I do appreciate everyone though. Don't think that, I'm just singling her out just because. But yeah, I do appreciate the fact that every time we watch New Japan Pro Wrestling, like she'll be in there and comment and stuff like that, and I'll be like, well, maybe this, maybe that. But thank you, PhD Bound, for using your Twitch Prime to subscribe. um but yeah, like I said, you either have that option or you have if you want to gift subs to the community so that way nobody can get ads and stuff like that. I'm really, 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 really thankful. Um you know what? Let me just put this up a little bit more. So you guys can see me. I'm really, really, really thankful for everyone that has like tuned in, just hear me out about my wrestling takes. Thankfully I can say it all in kayfabe, and stuff like that. So, you know, uh, thank you for getting me to Twitch affiliates. I really highly appreciate it. You know, I never really like thought about podcasting at all until I was like, yo, it's more easier and faster to talk than to like write out an article, and articles don't even get read by like that. So, I'm having fun doing this. I'm glad that you guys are here for the ride, and I wouldn't have it any other way. I really would not have it any other way. I'm telling you guys, man. Um it's been super fun. Um so Wednesday, I think I'm gonna save my announcement towards the end. But Wednesday, I have something very, very, very fun planned. You guys are definitely gonna see on social media some little drops of like what's gonna be happening on Wednesday, but you guys would know it here first. Um, so yeah. Um, it's gonna be a very fun time at 6 p.m. Wednesday right here on twitch.tv/Marie_shadows. There's only a few people that know, and that's about it. Oh wait. No, I did a mistake. How do I? Oh my god. Oh, guys, I'm so sorry. I'm. Oh my god. Okay, I'm not gonna say anything until like the ads are done. Um, this is gonna. I'm gonna have to learn how not to just hit buttons. Oh my god, I'm gonna have to learn how not to hit buttons. Oh Jesus. Um. Okay, I apologize if you guys just saw an ad. That was not my intention. But Vortex, thank you for the congratulations and becoming a for me becoming an affiliate. I gotta learn not to press buttons, especially when I don't know what those buttons are. I am not trying to have a rendition of Dexter's Laboratory here of like pushing the big red button. It's just that I'm so new to the fucking ads manager. Yo, Marcus, what's up? How's it going, buddy? Um, I'm just not used to the ads manager right now, so it's kind of like annoying the hell out of me that it's telling me like how many minutes I have to like start running an ad, and I might end up like taking that off just because it might mess up my flow and stuff like that. So I don't know how I'm gonna do this because I don't know how it shows up. It doesn't show me the ad, obviously, and I'm here supposed to be talking about like New Japan Pro Wrestling and like everything like that. Um, so yeah, I'm definitely gonna need a more experienced person to help me out with this. Because I just showed you guys an ad when I didn't really need to. I didn't mean to show you the ad either. Either way. Anyway, um, I really want some of my usuals to get in here. The ones that were sort of nah, they weren't really antagonizing me. That's the wrong word. That's really the wrong word. They weren't antagonizing me. They also hated the fact that Osprey lost. So good thing. I'm trying to get them in here. All right. So Marcus says, "I love AEW, but TNT Champion is a weird sport because I love Sammy turn heel, but I don't like Sammy is a three. Yeah, man. Don't worry, man. We'll get to AEW. We'll get to all of them. I'm just really trying to wait until like my people come in here because they were talking about this shit. Um, there was this other guy. I know some bullshit. Uh, there was this other guy that was talking shit on my thing, and I told him, "Yo, why don't you come by and congratulate me to be an affiliate?" And also, you could talk your shit. You could talk your shit there. It's all good. It's all good, man. I'm here for like debates and talking about this and trying to see like how wrestling can improve. And if you want to talk shit all the time about New Japan, you guys can come right here and like talk shit about it, and then we'll like debunk it all. We'll do that. We'll debunk it all. But yes, Moxley won. You know what? We might as well start with the elephant in the room of basically talking about Moxley fucking winning just because. But that means I have to do like my intro. My voice is already going. Hold on. I made a spicy shrimp scampi earlier for lunch, so I can still feel the effects of the spiciness. I know that I saw that the referee fucked up. And it was just such a weird fucking thing. That's what I saw. Osprey is champion of Warriors Wrestling. Warriors Wrestling had to remind me. If you guys are not following me on Twitter, please make sure that you do at Marie underscore shadows. Because I was going back and forth with them about like, hey, if Osprey is facing Blake Christian this weekend on April 23rd, is the ref gonna like fuck him over? And they were like, no chance. And I was like, well, wasn't he once like your champion? And they were like, he's still our champion. I was like, I knew that. I totally knew that. I totally forgot. So to answer your question, Marcus, Osprey is the Warriors Wrestling Champion and also Rev Pro Champion. Let me readjust everything, and then we're gonna jump right into Windy City. We're gonna talk about it all. I got my notes. But like I said, we're definitely gonna start with the elephant in the room. So let's go and do this. And again, housekeeping notes. I don't know, man. This is so cool. Okay. I love you guys that you are here, but we gotta do this officially. Thank you, PhD Bound. We gotta do this officially. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Square Circle Podcast. I am your host, Marie Shadows, and on this very special episode of the Square Circle Podcast, yes, we are live right here on twitch.tv/Marie underscore Shadows. And guess what? By way of your help, to everyone out there that came into my Twitch channel, to everyone that's in the chat, to everyone that listens everywhere else, but more importantly, celebrating here with me, I have become officially a Twitch affiliate, which is so awesome. It's so amazing. I can't really thank you guys enough for, just being here, helping me with my views, because that's all I needed. You guys put in the work of following me and wanting to hear what I have to say. And so I am a Twitch affiliate, excuse me. So what does that mean? That means a couple of things. One, I finally have some type of stream income from you guys that want to be supportive. That's awesome. That's great. Another thing too is that I'm able to run ads on my channel. The other thing is that this is very important, so please pay attention to this. When you come into my channel, you will not get pre-roll ads. I really do dislike when other streamers have pre-roll ads on, their channels, but they could do whatever they want. It's their channels, but sometimes that's a little bit of a turnoff, and I do not want you guys to have that turnoff. So I am not having no pre-roll ads. And if they are pre-roll ads, let me know. I'm gonna have to change stuff on the back end because I'm still learning all of this. The second thing is that now that I'm able to run ads, I will prep you guys to let you know, how much time is left for the ads. So that way you can either decide to lend me your Twitch Prime, or to gift subs to the community of our community here at Marie underscore Shadows for Twitch. It is up to you whether you want to use your Prime or whether you want to gift subs, so that way nobody can have ads to interrupt their experience. It's all up to you. It's your decision. I'm just letting you know what's happening, what's new, and this is amazing. Again, this is all thanks to you guys. I really appreciate you guys being here, listening to me talk about professional wrestling. Now let's get down to business by just talking about the elephant in the room of New Japan Pro Wrestling Windy City Riot that was in Chicago. It was last night. It was on Fight TV, as well as NJPW Unfortunately for New Japan World subscribers, we did not really get it as a deal part of the subscription that we pay $8 a month for. That was a separate charge. It was about like $24 if you wanted to get it for New Japan World, but you would have had it stuck with the Japanese commentators. That's what I had it on, so I didn't have any problems or issues like most of my buddies, but nonetheless, it was a really good card from top to bottom, except for the main event. The main event, we're just gonna jump right into the main event, and then we're gonna work our way back. Because I have theories. You know me, I have theories and conspiracy and all that kind of stuff. So the main event was Will Ospreay who is Rev Pro champion and Warrior Wrestling champion, taking on Jon Moxley. Okay, before we get right into it, because I will just say bullshit. It was a bullshit match. Oh, see, my chat is awesome. I was about to answer some questions. Uh, I was about to answer some questions. Let me just make sure that Marcus didn't have a question before. Uh, ah, okay. We're gonna jump right off of Marcus's chat comment saying that Will Ospreay should win because Moxley is not a champion. Yeah. And the other thing too is that um Moxley is not carrying New Japan Pro Wrestling on his back the same way that Will Ospreay is carrying the company on his back. Granted, Will Ospreay had a neck injury, a fractured neck, similar to what Big E has, and of course he had to be on the shelf. So the Great O'Khan and Jeff Cobb, picked up, like, I don't want to say the slack, but picked up the pieces because Ospreay was healing. Ospreay had to go do what he had to go do, even though Ospreay was like, "Yo, I'm the real IWGP World Heavyweight Championship champion." Uh, so no matter what, regardless of the injury, Ospreay has been with Japan day one, doing a lot of things inside and outside, and you know, um, it's really unfair for Jon Moxley to pick up the win, and really unfair for Jon Moxley to call out Tanahashi because he's getting impatient and really wants to like fight him. It's like, bro, you come around New Japan Pro Wrestling like what, once every 2 to 3 months to do what? Nothing, nothing at all. Like, I don't fucking get it. Like, are you bored at AEW? Is that what it is? Is he bored at AEW, what he's doing with the BCC? I don't get it. Like, I understand that you want to call out Tanahashi. I totally get that. But at the same time, it's like, you got to work your way up. Like, rather than just trying to take out, rather than trying to take out the top veterans. So I don't know. Maybe you could be like a fucking legend killer. Like, no, dude. Like, put in the work as much as the New Japan guys have, and don't just jump right in fucking line. Right now, Tanahashi is like dealing with helping out Tama and taking and trying to take the Bullet Club down, and you're like, oh, I'm getting impatient. No. Um, no, just no. Um, Let me just go back up and see if chat is here. Gary says that Moxie was getting his ass kicked the entire match. Yes. Which, by the way, we'll talk about the what happens in the match, because I don't like the formula that's happening. There is a formula that is happening in New Japan when it comes to Jon Moxley fights. And I figured out yesterday why Moxley is like a true definite hit or miss for me. And man, I just can't. I just can't anymore. Um okay, let me see. Um okay. Uh Gary, I think either you said that on Twitch or somebody else said it on Twitch, but Gary says that this makes him think that he'll lose the title match against Tanahashi. Um See, I think now it might be okay if Osprey does lose to Tanahashi, but that's like 50% of me going yes because of story. I mean, I would look at it like this. Like, if I had okay, so you did. I basically said that well, I didn't say. I'm just okay, let's hypothetically think about this, right, guys? Um if Tanahashi wins the United States Championship title, right? he's basically the ace. He's the hope. He's the light in all of this coming about for like COVID and stuff like that. He brings us happiness through the darkest of times, right? So right now, who's really dealing with like some dark times? Tama and T and Jado. They got kicked out of Bullet Club. If Tanahashi wins the United States Championship title, maybe that can bring some happiness to them, some hope to them, and like invigorate them to, get all the titles off of House of Torture. Maybe that could be a motivator. You never know. So maybe it's not a bad thing that Osprey loses. However, on the flip side, if Osprey wins the United States Championship title, it will be a breath of fresh air, and it will be something different and unique. Where you have the IWGP World Tag Team Champions Jeff Cobb and Great O'Khan. You have a champion in Will Osprey, and then maybe Hinari could go off and get another title or something like that. But I think it would just be nice to have like another title in the United Empire. So it could do some good. I do know that Osprey is going to be a fighting champion. So there's no doubt about that. Oh, and by the way, why the fuck is Moxley ever doubting Osprey? When in Osprey's whole entire career, like, when has anybody ever doubted this kid? I can understand when people are like, oh, he does too many flips like in his early days, or like he was just a hothead kid that, did whatever he wanted, said whatever he wanted and shit like that. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. But like, when the fuck did anybody doubt Osprey? Why would you doubt him? Like, I don't even doubt him. Okay, so just so you guys know, an ad is starting in 4 minutes. I may or may not snooze it. I definitely do not want you guys to like not listen to anything. You know what? I'm gonna snooze it for this because this is a pretty big like segment. Anything else down the line, not. And anyone listening to on audio, anchor.fm/square circle podcast, this is what you're gonna have to deal with. Because I am Twitch affiliate. So you know what? We're gonna snooze this one, and it's gonna snooze for like 9 minutes, I guess. Again, if you have that Twitch Prime or you want to gift subs to not have your experience interrupted, go ahead and do so. I do want to address Marcus's comment by saying that there's a rumor out there, which I'm not believing. Which, by the way, you guys should like not believe the fucking rumors until somebody officially from New Japan Pro Wrestling says it. I really hope that's not Tony Khan's announcement this Wednesday that they're gonna have a joint AEW versus like New Japan type of super show or whatever you want to say it, because if anything was indication of this fucking pay-per-view is that oops is that sorry about that, is that how does the AEW guys um get wins on this card when it's not an AEW booked show? You know, like, why is it not New Japan Pro Wrestling like winning all of it? I'm just a little biased for this one. Um exactly, Gary. Like, none of the AEW guys can hang with like New Japan guys. There's probably like a few. There's probably a few that can, but not like all of them. But yeah, I'm just gonna say do not believe the rumors until it is true. Um, so I really hope they don't have a super show, because right now Tony Khan is trying to figure out what to do with Ring of Honor, and instead of trying to fix Ring of Honor and trying to tell us the groundwork and the foundation of like what he has planned, what is he going to do, are we going to get it weekly, are we did they find a TV channel home, did they do this, did they do that, instead of trying to set up home base with home base 2.0. I don't think it's a smart decision for him to do a super show or try to get a super show for like, New Japan versus AEW. It makes no fucking sense for that fucking shit to happen. Like, no. And anyway, I still don't trust Tony Khan in his booking. Like, his booking of the Owen Hart Cup is totally off. Makes no sense. Really doesn't. Other than that, yeah, I really do not want a super show. Until Tony Khan can fix home base and home base 2.0 and worry about AEW and try not to piggyback off of other people's success in this business, I don't want a super show. It's already kind of weird that, he is allowed to put AEW programming onto NJPW World, and it's like, who is asking for that? No one is asking for that. As much as Shingo is well, reading the translations, doing a good job in commentary, who is really asking over there in Japan for AEW stuff? Like, who's doing that? I don't even see the Japanese Twitter followers that I have even asking for it. They'll talk about AEW, but they're not asking like Tony Khan like, "Hey, can we, is there a way we could see AEW over here?" I don't see any of the Japanese accounts in the threads of AEW. Whenever Tony Khan tweets, I don't really see them. So again, like, who's really asking for it? Instead of trying to build home base, he's basically piggybacking off of everybody else, and that's a really red flag. And it's really sad that nobody else wants to see that shit. Um, yeah, PhD Bound says that she doesn't trust him. Period. Totally get that. Um, yeah. Also, if I was loud before, I'm so sorry. This shit gets me a little upset. By the way, here's another reminder. An ad is gonna start in 4 minutes. I'm probably just gonna talk through it. I apologize for anyone that is gonna see the ad, but there's 4 minutes before the next ad starts. Um, PhD Bound also says not a Osprey fan, but they could have had him losing because of antics last year. Young Lions belt and plays into the ref that don't like him. Yeah, I totally get it, and I understand what Osprey's story is going for. That he's building up a conspiracy, that the refs are out to like get him and all that stuff. It started with Zack Sabre Jr. I get it. And I would have been fine if it was another New Japan wrestler doing this to Will Ospreay to try to get a win over somebody with a huge ass name like Will Ospreay. Moxie getting a win over it, like, what does that do? Are we gonna see Osprey versus Moxie again in May 14th? No, because Moxley called out Tanahashi. Are we gonna see Moxie fly over to Japan just to face Osprey over there? No, we're not. He's gonna be back in AEW doing AEW things. So it doesn't make any sense for someone who wants to talk a lot of shit to be like, he's the new ace of New Japan Pro Wrestling and all this kind of shit. And it's like, well, you just fucked over Osprey. Like, why the fuck did you fuck him over? Like, he's one of your loyal guys, no matter what. Moxie just comes and goes whenever he's needed, whenever a paycheck is flashed in front of his face. Um, you know, I just think that it looks really bad on the brand because I can understand if like Moxie showed up for every single time there was a New Japan Strong taping. If Moxie showed up every single time for a New Japan Strong tapings, in addition to AEW tapings, then yeah, I wouldn't be this upset. But if you're gonna come around once every like 2 months and then talk shit, nah. I really think that they really should have thought it through. And I guess we could get into the ending of, well, we could get into the match. Cause there's some stuff that I really just do not like about it. I really don't. Um Hold on. I know you guys are gonna see an ad in 2 minutes. See, I'm prepping you guys because I feel bad that, if an ad is happening, you guys are gonna see it and then like you're gonna miss what I'm saying. And I really just don't like that, but that's how I end up paying the bills. Now, now. But I do appreciate you guys. I really do. I don't know what 2 minutes. Now it's like down to 2 minutes. Um, I don't know if anybody. Well, okay. Um, all right. So I got my trusty notes, as you guys can see. Um, I haven't taken notes in a while because most of the time I'm like I can remember like most of the stuff, but John Moxley versus Will Ospreay was like number 8 on the card. Uh, PhD Bound says maybe they are letting another company, WWE, say you can work with us. Our guys don't always have to win. Um, yeah, we can definitely say that. But the only problem with that is given the track record of given the track record of Tony Khan and Impact's partnership, that's why I don't trust it. That's why I feel like Tony Khan always has to get the victory. Like his guys has to get the victory no matter what. That he doesn't like losing to the other company. And I'm like, dude, like you gotta do it for story. You gotta do it for like what makes the most sense. You gotta think like um how can I say this? If the person is gonna show up the next day, then yeah, you guys are gonna have to like continue the story. Then that's totally fine. If Moxie was, if Moxie was showing up the next day, then basically, yeah, I wouldn't have a problem. Again, I just don't trust Tony Khan in his way of thinking that the AEW guys have to win. Because not only did John Moxley win his match on New Japan Windy City Riot, we also had the factory going over the LA Dojo. When the LA Dojo has a more better discipline and wrestling training than American training, and it's like, what? What is happening here? Like, this doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense that the New Japan guys that have been training for years go on excursion to come back and then all of a sudden fucking lose to the factory. Like, what? Makes no sense. I don't like the factory ain't showing up next time. Um, and I don't even know if like the LA Dojo is gonna go to AEW. Imagine if that should happen. That would be nice. But I don't know if that's gonna happen. All right. We are back from our ad. So yeah, we're still talking about John Moxley versus Will Ospreay. They start out with fighting in the crowd, which is like, all right, cool. It's another Moxley thing. Awesome. Um, the next point I want to make is that Osprey decides to throw the chair at John Moxley, and it looked really okay. So like, I don't really condone just throwing chairs at people. So please, in the real world, do not throw a chair at somebody. Just don't do that. But in the wrestling world, if you are a worker, sure, throw a chair at somebody, like your opponent. But I would have believed that John Moxley got busted open with the chair rather than fucking blading himself. And the camera did catch the fact that Moxie bladed himself. And I'm here like, oh my god. But he caught it. I would say this time that the cameraman caught it on accident because they wanted to show what happened, like, him being down and stuff. But you could definitely see Moxie tucking in something into his wrist tape. So yeah, you could definitely like see it. Um so I don't like the fact that Moxley has to blade himself every single time he has a match that is sort of like a death match slash hardcore esque type of match. It does not need blood all the time. It really doesn't. Um, I can understand that Moxie's playing off of the I'm unhinged and I'm insane. Well, how long is that gonna get you over? Like, I know he's over. I know people love Moxley. I know they do, but in hindsight, how does that help you evolve your character? What happens if you really truly do need to turn babyface because you got betrayed? Case in point, Tama turning babyface. That's going to be a very hard transition for Moxley if he ever needed to turn babyface or like become another character, become another persona when all he's doing in these matches is making himself bleed. For what purpose? I really thought that when he was going to rehab to, get rid of his demons and stuff like that, that would have been one of them too, because it really was kind of odd that during the whole entire um you know, his GCW run, that shit makes him feel alive. And if going through tables and busting yourself open and not protecting yourself during chair shots, if that makes you feel alive, then you're gonna have to like go into fucking therapy. I understand wrestling is a sport, wrestling is an art, and I say it all the time. However, um, I just don't think that blood is always needed. I don't think that violence is always needed. You could always get the story across with the basics, with your wrestling ability and your talent. Osprey has a lot of wrestling ability and a lot of talent. He also has a lot of good in-ring storytelling ability that I truly love and I like to watch, depending on who he's wrestling. John Moxley, not so much. John Moxley is so, absorbed in the whole I have to bleed for every match that it's like, bro, are you really truly healed? Like, I don't really think he is because he has to do that shit. So I would have been fine if he did not blade himself in order to bleed when the chair got thrown at him. Now, if you really want to think about it in like real life terms, if somebody did throw a chair at you and they really had a really good angle at like throwing the chair, yes, it can like bust you open no matter what. It could really do that. However, I mean, when you're blading yourself, you're just like um taking away the fact that it can bust you open. I really don't think that blood was needed, and I also think I read somewhere that Osprey also sort of like bladed himself a little bit so that he could bleed and whatnot. And it's like I get it too. Osprey is getting the whole treatment of um he's insane, he's unhinged as well. But man, I'm just like, do we really need to bleed? Really? Do we really need to? I would like it if we have the challenge of, if you're facing John Moxley, don't let him persuade you to bleed in his match. Because at this point it's becoming like Cody Rhodes and Dustin Rhodes, where they always have to have either like a table spot or they're always bleeding, and this is before Cody went back to WWE. But it's one of those things of like, yo, do we really need John Moxley to fucking bleed all the time? I don't get it. Do we need that? Um, let's see. Going further into the match, Will Ospreay does some forearm shots to the back of John Moxley's head. The referee tries to stop it. Not really stop the match, but try to stop Ospreay to remind him that he really can't do that. Ospreay shoves the referee out the way. Um, which is again playing into his character that Osprey wants to do whatever Osprey wants to do, to end the match. And I totally get that. I totally got the story. The problem is that like, again, do we really need um all that blood and stuff? Um so other than that, there was that huge clothesline and then the curb stomp to Osprey, and obviously that's a jab at Seth Rollins. I would really love this forbidden door to be open between WWE and New Japan Pro Wrestling just to make some, one-off matches. Like, we all thought that this WrestleMania was gonna suffer, but we all had fun this WrestleMania. But imagine next WrestleMania where like we could get some fantasy matches for like night two. Put most of your card with most of your champions on night one. Especially if you're unifying most of the belts, just put it on night one, and then like night two is all fantasy matches for like New Japan and WWE, because I don't even know if AEW wants to work with them. Probably not. But then again, something like that will make money. So why not, right? Don't ever leave money on the table. If you can find a way to get that money into your pocket, go ahead and do so. Make sure it's sort of like ethical. I'm just saying. Um, so here comes Osprey with a huge Spanish fly, and then the hidden blade, which now he's doing the hidden blade like in front of people, and that's kind of like interesting to say the least. And then this is where we're gonna talk about the finish of the match, because the finish of the match is super fucking weird. I even had to like rewatch it today to be like, all right, how did it really happen? Because yesterday, for some reason, my feed like towards like for that match only, the feed got separated where like the audio was ahead of the video, and I'm like, oh my god, that's not cool. But even I was like, my first initial reaction was like, what the fuck happened, right? Like I don't know, um, what happened. Um, so what happens is that John Moxley ends up doing two DDTs, which I totally forgot what he calls them. I think they're called um I totally forgot what they're called. But it's definitely not what he does in AEW. So he ends up doing two DDTs. No, I'm sorry. He does the DDT and then a brain buster. And then goes for the cover. The referee goes and counts 1, 2, 3. And at the same time that the referee's hand hits the mat, that's when Osprey's shoulder like goes up. And then all of a sudden the referee gets up, rings the bell, and in the same time frame, Moxley turns over Osprey and puts him in that, like, it's not really the bully choke, but puts him in a choke. And that's when Osprey taps, but it really doesn't matter because the bell is already rung and the match is already done, and um the crowd is like, what the fuck happened? Like I'm even like, what the fuck happened? Gary and chat is like, what the fuck happened? PhD Bound is what the fuck happened. Marcus is probably like, what the fuck happened too? Because Marcus was like, Osprey shouldn't be losing if he's a champion. Totally get it. Yeah, awesome. That's another way of looking at it. Um, but yeah, like it just doesn't make any sense. Um, I can understand that um so I guess Osprey really did lose, but like should have never lost, if that makes sense. Like it's really difficult to call it even when you look back and like watch it and like really see how the positioning was. As soon as that hand came down, that was exactly the same moment of Osprey's hand, like his shoulder popping off the mat. And usually in WWE, they would, the referee would curve in if that were to happen and be like, no, it was only two. But then again, I'm not sure if we're gonna know the actual finish of the match. I don't know if it was supposed to be a pinfall or he was supposed to get him in the choke and then that was it. Um, but obviously, if he got him in the choke, then that definitely means that Osprey was gonna tap anyway. Um, yeah. That is how the finish happens. I really think that we didn't really need Moxie to go over, just for him to challenge Tanahashi, and that Moxie is gonna see Tanahashi over at May 14th in uh Washington. Tanahashi is already scheduled to fight Chris Dickinson. Like, is he really gonna go and mess up that match between Tanahashi and Chris Dickinson? You know, New Japan sort of like upholds the moniker of being respectful and we're having a match and stuff like that. Not necessarily like going in there and cheating unless like your Bullet Club. But that's a whole nother thing that we're gonna get to in a second. Um but yeah, I just don't think that that was the right call. I don't think that was the right decision because again, um, you know, uh Osprey is there carrying the company. Osprey is there, leading the charge, building up the United Empire, adding people to his group and stuff like that. His group just grew by one member, which is Francesco Akira, who was the previous All Japan Pro Wrestling champion. So, Osprey is helping New Japan. What is Moxie doing? Moxie is not helping New Japan. It's always Osprey. So for Osprey to lose to Moxie is very fucking stupid. Um and that was probably the only thing that got me upset because everything else on the card was nice. Everything on the card, made sense except for, the factory winning, which is stupid. But yeah. Um if anyone has some more questions or comments about it before I move on to the beginning of the card, uh, then let me know in chat. Also, make sure to tell your friends that I'm live. But yeah, um, that's just my take on it about Osprey should have never lost. Um, because again, it's that it's that whole mentality of CM Punk's mentality when he was like, what's the point of him losing to like an Undertaker, um, so to speak, because Undertaker's not gonna show up on, the Monday after like WrestleMania or something, or like a big pay-per-view. Like, what's the point of losing to The Rock if he's not gonna show up, the next night? Like, what's the point of losing to these big part timer guys and they're not gonna show up? That's how I'm thinking about it when this whole thing of Osprey losing to Moxley is happening. Like, Moxley's not showing up on the next New Japan Strong. Even though Osprey has to finish out his indie duties this week, he'll definitely be in Japan next week or maybe the week after that, depending on like his schedule. But there's no reports on what's Moxley gonna do next. No reports at all. Um, you know, so yeah. Um, if no one else has any questions or anything like that, then I can move on to the beginning of the card. Um, which by the way, the ones who wanted to like hear my rant about this are not even here. They're gonna have to catch the replay. They're gonna have to catch the VOD. That's what they're gonna have to do. Um, unless oh, give me a second here, guys. Uh, okay. Mm, all right. Um, I am going to run some ads because I need to take a quick bathroom break. So I think that's the perfect time for me to run ads so that you guys don't miss a thing. But yeah, make sure to go tell your friends so that way we can all celebrate my achievement. All right. Oh, damn. All right. So the ad is still in progress. Um, I'm gonna have to try to figure out a way of like using the ads plus using like a regular ad break um to like if I want to tell you guys to get up and stretch and all this kind of stuff. um plus anyway, it's Easter Sunday, so I kind of figure that like I don't know if many people are going to show up, but as always I love the ones who show up anyway. So let's go and talk about the beginning of the card. So, like I said, the beginning of the card had the factory take on the LA Dojo. The LA Dojo is um it's basically all the guys, but in this match specifically, it was Carl Fredericks, Clark Connors, you I was gonna say it wrong, but I already know his name. Yuya Uemura. And then also wait, it was only a triple threat. Yeah. So again, the LA Dojo consisted of Carl Fredericks, Yuya, Clark Connors taking on QT Marshall, Aaron Solo, and we're gonna call him the Beast. 'Cause I think his name is Camarado. Uh that's the only thing like I remember. I remember his last name. So this was an okay match. It was a nice match to get the crowd going, to get the crowd hyped and stuff. So QT Marshall in this match attempted to do the people's elbow, and I get it. They're in front of an American crowd, and if the freaking factory wasn't so goofy, I think I'll take them serious. Like I just can't. I know that they are more for like the entertainment side of things, but other than that, it's like nah, man. Like I don't understand. I don't know. I don't get it. But yeah, he attempted to do the people's elbow. He didn't do that though, but he landed, face first. That hurt him a lot, and that was that. Clark Connors doing a fucking spear to Aaron Solo through the ropes, like the corner ropes, not even like the middle ropes, like the corner ropes. Clark Connors, man, he's really gifted. He's really really good in the ring. I would like to see Clark Connors versus Hangman Adam Page. It would be kind of funny if we get like a brother line story. Just because like they look very similar. The same hair, maybe the same build. They're both from Virginia, so it makes a lot of sense to like make them into like brothers and like do that. Um, Other than that, the ending of this match was really fucking stupid. Even though it's clever because I don't remember if anyone ever tried this with Yuya. So Yuya likes to do his like double underhook um, throw to the opponent. However, QT Marshall decided to low blow him, and that allows QT Marshall to crawl over, get the 1, 2, 3, and bam, that's it. The factory wins. Now, here is my question. This is the same question that I asked about for the main event, but this time it's gonna be a little bit different. Will the LA Dojo guys show up on AEW Dynamite just to take out QT Marshall and the rest of the factory? Is that going to happen? If it's not going to happen, then what's the fucking point of the LA Dojo, which is more disciplined, um, and more technically sound in professional wrestling? That basically they go through a grueling day of training only to then graduate, go to excursion, come back to be a better version of themselves. Like, what's the point of all that? Are you telling them that just because like they're I get that they're still young lions even though they all graduated. But at this point, it's like they should have got the victory because again, they're the ones carrying the LA Dojo on their back. They're the ones that are carrying New Japan on their back. They're a representation of New Japan Pro Wrestling, and some people from the factory want to come in and start some shit because you want to go and grab up Carl Fredericks and be like, "Yo, come with us to the factory." No, if anything, um, like I personally think that New Japan Pro Wrestling has one of the best like trainings out there that you can understand why they do certain things. There's little personality here and there and stuff like that. It may seem boring to other people. It may seem like it's tedious or they don't understand it because they just think it's all chops and forearms and stuff. And I could get that. I totally understand that, but at the same time, these guys have passion, they have heart, they got fire, they got desire, they have ambition. They really want to be the best, and that's like their overall story. And I know like almost everybody has that. But other than that, it's like, um, you know, why would you have the LA Dojo lose if they're not gonna show up on Dynamite? If that's not gonna be one of the like graphics or whatever, like are they gonna show up unannounced? Like that'd be great if they show up unannounced. um Other than that, like I don't know, but I still think it's fucking stupid that they got uh you know the LA Dojo losing to the fucking factory. All right, the next match is a 10-man tag. We have the West Coast Wrecking Crew, which consists of Kratos, Danny Limelight, Black Tiger, Royce Isaacs, and Jarrell Nelson, taking on Fred Rosser, Ren Narita, Dickinson, Josh Alexander, and Alex Coughlin. And I really like the fact that Josh Alexander is in this match, and he shined a little bit in this match. Because there are like 10 people, it's a little bit hard to follow. Um, I will say that Ren Narita is looking like Shibata every single fucking day. I still want to know if Ren Narita is Shibata's like one night stand kid. I really want to know. I want to know if Ren Narita is related to Shibata in any way, if like that's his fucking dad, because they look so similar, like father like son, and I'm like, yo, is this your son? Which, by the way, I would totally ask Shibata if I could. I would definitely ask him like, yo, when's the last time you had like a one night stand? And like hopefully I get an answer. Hey, Baymax, what's up? Welcome to the chat. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, man. Definitely long lost son, man. Like definitely. But yeah, I would definitely ask Shibata, like, yeah, when's the last time you had a one night stand? Like, could Ren Narita be your fucking kid? Like, I need to know. Um, so this was a very interesting 10-man tag. You had Alex Coughlin picking up Kratos to do a vertical suplex. And you know, Kratos is not a small guy. Kratos is a big ass guy that will take you to hell. I don't know why I wanted to say that, but he gives me those vibes. He gives me those vibes. Um, Josh Alexander throws Danny down onto the ring apron. This is when Danny Limelight tried to do um hold on. Oh, tries to get the one up on Alex Coughlin, but Alex Coughlin like sidesteps and Danny jumps into Josh Alexander. Josh is just like, nah, fuck you. And that's it. Basically drops him on there. Uh yeah, Baymax, that was definitely a lot of weight for Coughlin to hold and to throw. But Alex Coughlin, you know, works out. He got you know, the muscle for it, so all good. Um and then speaking of Kratos, Kratos goes and jumps from corner to corner. So he's in one corner, goes to the other one, jumps over the corner and um knocks out the group of guys that are waiting on the outside and takes everybody out. Luckily no one got hurt, which is a good thing, but they went and jumped. No, he went and jumped and took everybody out. Um Other than that, Fred Rosser is such a maniac in the ring. He is more vicious in the ring. And he definitely put on a vicious chicken wing hold to Black Tiger. Yeah, Black Tiger. I was gonna be like Black Tiger mask, but no, he put on a chicken wing hold to Black Tiger, and basically won the match for his team. So the team of Fred Rosser, Ren Narita, Charles Dickinson, Josh Alexander, and Alex Coughlin won that 10-man tag, which was all over the place. But it was really nice second match after the opening match. Um, Now, after that, Tom Lawler comes out and like I believe he starts beating the shit out of Fred Rosser. And then Yuji Nagata comes out and Nagata is challenging Tom Lawler for that uh strong openweight championship title, which by the way Tom Lawler has that title for close to over a year. uh Only had like 9 defenses, and as much as I enjoy certain Tom Lawler matches, he's not like my overall favorite, but you know, I really do think that it's time to get the belt off of him and put it on somebody else. If we're going to keep Jay White in New Japan Strong, if he is not going to be showing up for the G1 this year, because of whatever reason may be. And by the way, on this channel here for the Square Circle podcast, even you know, for all that, for all the stuff that I do, so for the Square Circle podcast, we like to keep everything kayfabe. So do not ever tell me that it's a problem with his visa or whatever the case may be. We're keeping it kayfabe. If Jay White does not want to go over to Japan just yet, if he is not going to be entered into this year's G1, then I would say let's have Jay White versus Tom Lawler for that strong openweight championship title. So that way the US of J Tour can definitely be a lot more. There's something on the line. There's something that Jay White needs to fight for. There's something that Jay White needs to protect other than the Bullet Club, which I'll get to my theories about Bullet Club when we get to the match. Um, which, by the way, if you guys want to hear that, um, if you guys want to hear that in full without any interruptions, because your girl here is Twitch affiliate, you guys can send over that Twitch Prime, which is for free, or you could gift the community to you could gift some subs if you want to. Um, but I'm just giving you guys a heads up. We have 27 minutes before the next ad plays. So I'm just letting you guys know. I am probably gonna be the best streamer out here because I give you guys updates about when the next ad is gonna play. Just because I feel bad that there are ads, but This is now a little way of me, trying to make some money on the side. But yeah. But yeah, back to wrestling. I would definitely have Jay White challenge Tom Lawler for that belt. Take the belt off of Tom Lawler and have Jay White have something to protect other than Bullet Club, which right now it's a mess. And knowing Jay White's character, he does not like messes. You know, I don't know where they're going with this, where Bullet Club is going with this, but we'll get there. Anyway, Tom Lawler versus Nagata is happening as the third match on the card for New Japan Windy City, and the only highlight of the match was the crossface counter that Tom Lawler did to Nagata. So Nagata has the crossface as his finisher. He calls it the Nagata lock. And because Tom Lawler has an MMA background and a fighting background, he reached over, grabbed Nagata's leg, and basically did an ankle lock, and then rolled that ankle lock into a sorry, into a clover leaf lock, to where eventually Nagata got to the bottom rope, caused a rope break, and Tom Lawler had to release it. Then we get this really stupid ass finisher for the match where Tom Lawler basically like knocked down Nagata. Nagata kicked out like a two, got up, got like his third win, was firing up, had a comeback, and then all of a sudden, freaking Tom Lawler grabs him, does like the straight jacket maneuver, and basically rams a knee into Nagata's back, crawls on top of him. 1, 2, 3. Tom Lawler is still our strong openweight champion, and as much as Nagata put up a fight, I'm like, yo, it would have been interesting if he was strong champion, but then again, he would have had to stay out here for a little bit to defend that belt. Um, but yeah, like I don't understand why they had to finish the match like that. It was very stupid. So now I gotta get comfortable, guys. Uh Now we get to one of my favorite matches on this card. Um One of my favorite matches is United Empire versus Bullet Club. And man, like I cannot say this enough, man. And I tell this to Hinare every chance that I get. Hinare knows that I put him over on this podcast all the time. And I am super fucking proud of Hinare. It's very proud of Hinare. Hinare came a very long way from when he first came into New Japan Pro Wrestling as a young lion. And when he graduated, obviously they wanted him to be his Islander self, where similar to how The Rock first debuted, that type of thing, similar to how the Usos first debuted. But that wasn't really working for Hinare. I went back to go watch a couple of his matches when he first started out, and from then all the way to now, you can see the transformation of this guy. Um, he still has a lot more potential. He still has a lot more training to go, but it's not as much as before. He definitely learned a lot, and by being with the United Empire, he has definitely grown into his own person, and he has definitely grown into his own wrestler. And again, I'm going to just say it that I am super proud of Hinare. Um, the first time that like I've ever seen him wrestle was probably back at like New Japan Cup during 2020. And ever since then, like, uh he's a really cool guy. He's a really cool guy. If you guys saw the meet and greet that the United Empire did, they have with the token shop, they have it up on their YouTube channel, and Hinari is adorable. He has just such an adorableness about him. And I really am a fan of the Great Khan as well. The Great Khan just grew on me, right? Because I wasn't getting it at the time. Um, I really wasn't getting it with the Great Khan and his character, but his character definitely has grown on me, and he's very talented, very talented guy. And I give him props for speaking in English during that meet and greet online, that virtual meet and greet. That was a really cool thing. Um, Jeff Cobb, Jeff Cobb is amazing. He knows this. Um, Jeff Cobb does a really great moonsault to people. Too bad he didn't do it in this match. Like, it would have been nice if he would have hit the moonsault, so that way, he could get that big nice pop from the American crowd. But he really does a really nice moonsault. Um, anyway, TJP, TJP is all over the place. I'm not saying that in a good or bad way, but he is everywhere when it comes to professional wrestling. Um, he keeps everybody on their toes. That's one thing. That's what he does. And I am happy to see that Aussie Open finally got their spotlight. And so if it wasn't for Aussie Lucian to like really show me some Aussie Open matches, I mean, I probably would have still been impressed. But just knowing that we were able to watch their tag match together from Australia, which I do watch alongs here. So if you guys ever want to do or like chill with me for a bit to watch wrestling, make sure to hit that follow button. And also, if you want, send over those Twitch primes, so that way you don't get interrupted with any ads. Because I really do want to start doing more watch alongs with you guys. No, what are you doing? No.
That's right, she is an affiliate now. So send over those Twitch primes and subscribe to Marie Shadows here on the Square Circle podcast so you guys can get all the wrestling action, all the wrestling information, and the New Japan Queen of the New York City line. Yeah!
Make sure to go follow Ravage Dragon at Ravage Dragon over on Twitter. He is currently streaming right now, guys. I am the queen of New Japan now, as dubbed by him. But yeah, there goes our ad. um. Okay. Um. Anyway, what was I talking about? United Empire versus Bullet Club, right? Um. So yeah. This match, we really have to dissect this match. Uh. Before we do that, let me see if I can get some. I don't think that New Japan put up pictures yet. Um. By the way, I'm gonna let that little thing sit in. So if you guys want to, you guys can, hype it up in chat. Um, while I search for a picture that I want to search for. Which I'm probably gonna have to cut this out anyway. So yeah, they're not gonna have any pictures up. Oh, there was a dark match. Oh, I didn't know there was a dark match. Okay. There's no fucking pictures. Um. All right. So I guess not. We're gonna have to do this by. Well, probably not. Hold on. So while I'm doing this, for anyone that is watching or lurking, here is my question to you. What was your favorite match on this card? Let me know in the comments. Um, I will look at comments in a second. Um, okay. I want a picture of a Bullet Club because there's a specific thing that I want to talk about, but I don't know if anyone has a good picture of the Bullet Club that we saw. Um, for anyone that saw like Windy City Riot yesterday. Um, this is me while I'm looking for pictures on Twitter. Uh, all right, so I guess. Um, we could watch a little bit of something. All right, so there is one picture that I could deal with because this is storytelling. Um, it may not be the best picture, but this is storytelling, and I need this for you guys to understand the Bullet Club storyline because now we got a little bit more story to talk about. Of course, we got story to talk about Bullet Club. Um, just to see where everybody is at. Um, okay, so let's replace this one with. And by the way, I don't know how many people here that are watching know the whole story of the Bullet Club drama. Uh, which I have no problem repeating everything. Um, okay. The only problem is I can't draw on this. I wish that there was a plugin where I can like draw on this. I would have to like. Oh wait, I could draw on it. Let's hope that it works, man. Like every time that you guys visit, it should be like classes in session. That's what it should be like. Okay. Let me take this out. Let me have this. Uh, it's not what I wanted. It's not gonna do it. Why is it not gonna do it? Um. Oh, come on. Go to photos. I try so hard to like do fun things. I'm gonna have to like really look this up on how to like do fun things. Like easier fun things. I hate this. All right. You know what we're gonna do? You guys are just gonna have to listen to me. And like for any of the audio listeners, you're gonna have to like use your imagination. I try making it as interactive as I can on my live streams, and I think I gotta like test this out like on a day where like we're not doing a podcast. All right. So as you know, it was it was the United Empire taking on Bullet Club members, which is basically this time around it was Carl Anderson, Doc Gallows, Hikuleo, Chris Bay, El Phantasmo, and the newest addition, Scott Norton, which Scott Norton was part of NWO back in the day. And, you know, I guess this was um, a Carl Anderson, Luke Gallows thing because I don't think, even though Jay doesn't care, Jay should care. But other than that, like, you know, it just Scott Norton is there. It's cool. It was cool. But, you know, it's still like Bullet Club, what the fuck are you doing? Anyway, I don't know if you could probably see it in the picture, but and no, I cannot zoom in on the picture. Um Hikuleo is wearing his tights, and the tights are red with like yellow in them, but they're red. That still means that he's conflicted in this whole entire story. So that means that at New Japan Mutiny, Hikuleo probably lost to Jay White during the Jay White Open Challenge. I did not see or read uh the spoilers for that. But it just makes sense if Hikuleo is coming out in this match, in this huge ass match with Thomas Colors on. So that's what's telling me that. Uh I'm still waiting for the day that Hikuleo breaks away from Bullet Club just to join his brothers. Eventually, we're gonna have to get like God and Jado over here to the states, um, just to do some story here. I'm so sorry. Do some story here, create some more story. But see, when I was talking last time about how to make a wrestling character and how to, talk about story and use the 3 act structure to basically make your wrestler, Hikuleo got down packed. Hikuleo is conflicted, and the tiniest of things really do, work. Depending on what kind of tights he wants to wear, depending on what he wants to do. And obviously he wasn't really like with the group anyway. Um Even though they all like came out together, you could just see he went his own way. He really didn't care about like posing too much. He's just like, I'm just here for business. It's not like he's there for like friendship. He's there for business. And then obviously Hinare like really mouthing off at him and shit like that. Which is kind of great. I want to see Hinari versus Hikuleo a lot more. Um I want those series of matches and stuff like that. So yeah, I really do. I really want to see Hinari versus Hikuleo a lot more. The whole entire match of this was pretty fun to watch. I had an amazing time watching it. I love the fact that the United Empire is so over with the crowd. Yeah, I can't believe that the 3 guys like Jeff Cobb, Great Khan, and Hinari are so over with the crowd. I'm just really, like I said in the beginning of all this, that I am super proud of all of them. Um, then we have Bullet Club taking advantage. Bullet Club with their back rakes because of El Phantasmo. El Phantasmo leads the whole back rake thing. So it's just like, really, dude, like, what the fuck? Um, then we have Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson looking at and facing off. Sorry, facing off, and mouthing off to the IWGP World Heavyweight Tag Team Champions Jeff Cobb and the Great O'Khan. Eventually, I think that they're gonna come over to Japan so that way they can like fight them. Not Jeff Cobb. The Great O'Khan with his Mongolian chops and his screaming is just hilarious. And then Aussie Open really destroyed Chris Bay um, with their finisher, and they picked up the victory for United Empire. And I was like, wow, what? I did not think that the United Empire was gonna go over. See, the United Empire gets all this momentum, but then somehow in New Japan they end up like losing something huge, and like sort of their momentum stops. Here they went over, and I'm like, yo, that's awesome, that's fucking great. Like, I didn't really know what to think. I was like, yo, I didn't think that they were gonna go over. I thought Bullet Club was gonna go over because Bullet Club's a more known name out here in the States. They make a lot of more money out here in the States, and they're over. And like, Jay White is the leader of the Bullet Club. So it makes sense for Bullet Club to go over, right? I guess when you look at like all the numbers and shit, yeah, like Bullet Club should go over. But for them to have United Empire go over, that means that they still have faith in the United Empire, and plus we get to talk about my favorite thing, which is conspiracy theories. It's only my favorite thing when it comes to wrestling and when it comes to Bullet Club and everything that's been going on with Bullet Club and God. So this is why like conspiracy theories are like my thing here. Um, just a heads up, if you want to listen to my conspiracy theories, make sure to lend me that Twitch Prime or gift some subs to the chat, just so that way the ads does not interrupt your experience. You got 4 minutes. 4 minutes before ad starts. The only reason why I keep reminding you guys is so that way you don't miss anything of what I'm saying, and you can enjoy your experience. Um, I'm not trying to, rub it all in your faces. It's just I want you guys to be here with me. We're here talking about this. We're here having a good time. If you don't want that experience interrupted, the best way to go is at Twitch Prime, which I'll be so grateful for. I feel like my nose is gonna like. Mm. All right, so all right, we can keep going. So here are my conspiracy theories, right? Jay White likes to have everything in a box that doesn't really get too full. No, I could do that. I could do that better. Because Jay White always does things where it makes sense. Jay White always does things where like all the pieces are in the box, and you have 100% completion of the puzzle in the box. Like going back to when he lost to Ibushi, when he came back for New Year's Dash, that oh no, after New Year's Dash, I'm sorry, he went straight at the Ishii, and he said that, Ishii, because I lost to you, that's why I couldn't beat Kota Ibushi. You were the missing piece. Jay White likes to um ads are about to start in 2 minutes, guys, just so you know. If you don't want your experience interrupted, Twitch Prime is the way to go. Um, So Jay White doesn't like when things are out of whack in a way. So Bullet Club losing, right? When they have a supposed legend on their team. And by the way, Scott Norton is a two-time IWGP heavyweight champion. So with having that kind of star power on Bullet Club, you would think that Bullet Club will not lose. So Jay White really doesn't like losing. You see every time Jay White loses, like this guy goes a little bit insane, and you're like, oh shit, let's not get him upset or anything. So, seeing Bullet Club lose to United Empire, which I totally believe that is their biggest rival, because the United Empire is really strong and can really rival Bullet Club with the numbers. They can really do it. Um Eventually Jay is gonna see that it probably wasn't worth it to have a partnership with the Good Brothers. And eventually the Good Brothers are going to be cut out. That's what I think. That's one theory. That if they're gonna keep losing, if Bullet Club is going to keep losing, then eventually Jay is going to, maybe kick them out and be like, this isn't a really good thing. Um, you know, I don't see Jay keeping around people who don't pull their weight. Um, you know, Eventually House of Torture might end up leaving as well. Just because it's like, what's the point of them being there? And then also like, it doesn't seem like the House of Torture talks to anybody else in Bullet Club. So it's like you don't need Bullet Club. You can stand on your own. House of Torture can stand on their own. They don't really need Bullet Club. But I really think that after this loss sort of hurts Bullet Club in this storyline, especially if Jay White wants to be uh the catalyst of professional wrestling, which by the way, I do not believe that he is a catalyst of professional wrestling. I said it last time on the last podcast episode that I do not believe he is, because it makes no sense. Anybody could have been in that position in order for him to you know in order for that person to be the catalyst. It could have been anyone else but Jay. you know that's why I don't believe that Jay is the catalyst of professional wrestling. I don't believe that he's the catalyst. Actually, wait, I do believe that he's the catalyst for kicking out Tama and T, and believing that they're the problems. And it's like, no. Sometimes you have to protect what you built, because you can't be friends with everybody if you're a team. If you're friends with everybody, if you're a team, you end up like Chaos. You end up like Okada's team. Anybody could join that. The same thing with Hantai. Anybody could join Hantai. Like Tama and T were defending and protecting Bullet Club by not allowing, idiots to run it, not allowing idiots to run the name of Bullet Club down to the ground. But now we have the more jokey side of Bullet Club, which you saw during Windy City Riot, and it's like, guys, you guys supposed to be Bullet Club. You're not supposed to be bigger than Bullet Club. Like, represent it like you would something else that you're proud of. The same way that United Empire represents United Empire, and they are all proud to represent, United Empire. PhD Bound says a very good point here. Jay Jay first lost. Oh, Jay Jay's first loss should be the Tama. It should. It should definitely be the Tama. Um, if they can work out after, you know, maybe it wouldn't be a good idea for Jay to enter into the G1. I'm just gonna say this. I don't think Jay is going to enter into the G1. So that way, when Tama enters into the G1, and wins the G1, he can fly over to the States and challenge Jay in one of the JY Open Challenge matches and win against them. And I think that would definitely boost up the storyline, definitely create a more desperate Jay, to the point of getting Gato involved because Jay has been putting wonderful matches out with his US of tour, US of A, US of J tour. So yeah, man, BC is definitely going to regret kicking Tama and T out uh and kick Jay out. Eventually that might happen. I mean, like, I don't know. But I do think that it'll give more story, it'll give a new layer to this whole complicated thing because again, like Jay hasn't even talked about it. Obviously he did it for business and I can see that. Even though I think in the back of his mind it's like a little personal. It's definitely a little personal, but the outside facade of like Jay White on like just going as business as normal, that's the facade we're gonna get. But once Thomas shows up, it's all gonna turn personal. I just think it's all gonna turn personal. It's not gonna be business at this point. But I would say that for the first time that they fight, that Jay and Tama fight during that open challenge, it should end in a draw for the first time. Because it wouldn't be sort of fair if um if Tama won the G1, Ghost fight Jay White and then like wins against Jay White and gives him his first loss. I really do think that it should end in a draw to like kind of draw this out because I want story in between. I want promos in between. I want something where like it progresses the story. The only thing that I can see is that Tamati and Jado get the never 6-man tag championships. Um Maybe make Tama a fucking dual champion by giving him the never open weight as well, but then I'm not sure if that's a good idea or not. Um so yeah, have that and then, have him fly out here and face Jay and see if Jay wants to challenge for one of those titles and it'll be something interesting. All while trying to tell us the story of like, did you really kick them out because they were troublemakers? Did you really kick them out because Tama was having the most trouble with people? Like when you're a leader, you gotta do shit that's not gonna be agreed upon. You gotta do shit that's best for the team. And basically, like, if you're allowing idiots to come in and make a mockery of the name Bullet Club that Finn Balor started and forgot the fucking morals and the values of it, then, yeah. You gotta kick out people. You gotta make the tough decisions. And Jay makes the tough decisions he uh when his back is against the wall. Right now, his back is not against the wall because money is coming in, and he feels like this is good. This is a good partnership, and you can see it. The writing is on the wall. The money is coming into Bullet Club. Like they're not in danger in anything, and they're not going to be breaking up anytime soon. If anybody out there wants to believe that, like, that's not happening. So right now, Jay is pretty comfortable. Um, you know, PhD Bound says Hikuleo realizes right now he is outnumbered. Keep enemies close. Yes, that's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. But like, I really thought that if, I mean, it probably should be because if not, people would have been talking about it. I didn't read the spoilers yet, but like, most likely Jay did win against Hikuleo. So I was like, since that's the case, I really thought that they would have kicked him out. It would have been like, oh, you could go join your brothers. You could go join them because you're just as weak as them and you're problematic. If Jay White really wanted to be the catalyst of professional wrestling, he probably would have kicked out Hikuleo after beating him, if he did beat him. Because again, I did not read the spoilers, and you know, uh, I would have kicked him out, have him be on his own, and then basically tell him that if Tama and T are troublemakers, you're troublemaker too because it's family. Like you would think that that, but yeah. PhD Bound says, I think he kicked Tama out because people see him as Leader, although Jay has the title of leader, he uh leader is really leader of BC. Yeah, that could definitely play into it. That really can. I would really love more story, and that's what I really want to get at is more story. Because I could go around in circles about this, but I really need more story to attach onto it. But right now, as I said, the United Empire picks up the win against Bullet Club. We're only gonna see how much of this is gonna like play out into the whole storyline and everything. Uh our next match is a street fight, a Chicago street fight. We had Finjuice teaming up with Brody Kane taking on Jonah, Big Bad Tito, and I think the other person is TMDK. I think so. Um I personally do not understand um what they got Finjuice doing. And I did say that this definitely might be their last Juice's last match in New Japan Pro Wrestling because he did not resign his contract. He is done with New Japan Pro Wrestling. He's probably done wrestling for a little while. He said that he doesn't feel like um wrestling interests him. Like no wrestlers interest him as well. So he's gonna probably take some time off, which is great because he needs it. He's been wrestling nonstop even though like during the pandemic it gave everybody a chance to slow down, but other than that like you know um you know good for him because I think that he really needs it. All right, where is this thing? uh Yeah, PhD is totally right. You need to step away to reevaluate. Um, that's why I'm not like, too shocked that he didn't like resign or anything. It's just one of those things of like, okay, you need the time off, you need that. So, Anyway, um, so I am going to take like an official break because I need a time to stretch, get more water, and sort of like clear out my sinuses, even though that might be too much information. So we're actually gonna go on a real break, as we playing in between. But we're gonna take a real break. Make sure to stretch, make sure to like drink some water, stay hydrated, and I'll be right back talking about more wrestling.